Yo, JD here, Tyrrell Linus, and as you can see, we are back with another AOR video. Last one was Malaysia about a week or so ago now, and trying to remember what happened then. I think my engine pretty much blew up at the end of a race because I was just overrode the engine so much. And coming to this race, this is on the back end of actually being in Birmingham for a week, testing F1 2017. And I was actually at my girlfriend's. I got back on the, what did I get back? Got back on a Friday night, went straight to my girlfriend's, and then came back on my actual house about like 6:30 on Sunday. So yeah, didn't really have any time to do this, but this track is, I really like this track on previous games. And coming back on this, it felt so different to F1 2017. The braking distance is so much longer. It's just actually crazy. And so didn't really come into this with many expectations, but really trying to focus on protecting my engine, and you'll be able to see it throughout this race. Really focusing on the engine temperature, because if you go over 105 degrees on the engine temperature, and I was doing about 115, 110 at Malaysia in a dry, it really does kill your engine. And so speaking with the people at Codemasters, I was actually speaking to them about this issue I've been having in league races. They said anything really over 100, after a while, your engine is going to really have a massive impact. And once your engine is fully cooked, expect to be losing over 8 tenths of a second a lap. And that's exactly how much time I was losing at Malaysia in the race. So really focusing on that, short shifting a lot more than I would usually, and not being in rich as much in a race, because if you're in rich in the straight, it really does bump up your temperature quite a bit. But moving on to this qualifying, I think I did about 3 or 4 laps of the practice in the qualifying. Didn't do a first stint in the race. I actually didn't know the strategy either. Some people were saying it's a 1-stop, other people were saying on Twitter it was definitely a 2-stop, so I just really didn't have a clue of what strategy to do. So I'll just go give it my best, really to focus on things for next season. I know my driving stuff, I really protect my engine, practice a lot more. I know I've got the pace, I know I can do it, just really need to put it all together. And it's just a good learning curve really for me for next season, because I think if I put all those things together, things I've learned from this season and having more time as well, then I think I'll be able to have a good result. But we get a really good start here. So managed to qualify in 6th place for this race, or 7th I think, and it's a little bit tangled, so that Martin's car is lagging as usual, as we had in Malaysia as well. His connection, for me anyway, is really not good, pretty distracting. But we actually got up into 4th place, so that's 3 positions at the start of the race, and you'll be able to see soon, really focusing on keeping it in the high gears and just not overcooking the engine. So going through here, short shift into 4th, something I would not normally do. Normally I'd let rev out in 3rd gear, and that's just my driving style really. If you watch any of my races I've done through like three years ago now, which I probably got on the channel, I always rev out, and I just don't really even notice it. That's just how I drive. And you can see, moving on to the temperature now, can't quite see that on my screen, but if we get it underneath 100 degrees, then that is really optimal. 95 to 100 is really where you want to be for optimal performance. So you can see, keeping with the leaders at the moment, they're scrapping away as Martin's car is lagging quite a bit. So really, oh my god, I don't know what his car is actually doing. And yeah, I really want to get past his car as soon as possible, because you just do not want to be hit by that car. But he managed to break away from the guys behind a little bit. AOR Raikkonen managed to hang on, but the guy in 6th place, whoever that is, looks like we've got a nice little buffer to the cars behind. And we're in the slipstream now, looking at the engine once again. It's quite hard flicking between all these, because normally I just like to keep it on one screen. Because see, going back into stand, not really going rich, because that does actually harm the engine. So you really don't want to be going rich as much as you like, really. From what I found out on this game, it doesn't really help you that much. It's good now and again if you really want to get past someone, but you really want to limit it as much as possible. So for future races and for next season, definitely going to be under fueling the car a lot more, because it may give you a 2 or 3 mile an hour advantage, but overall it's really just going to damage you, because once you damage your engine, that's it. And that's what I've really experienced this season. I felt like in races, in dry races, I've been driving really well. I've been looking at my footage and comparing it with other people as well, and I feel that it's quicker, but looking at lap times, it's like half a second to a second slower. And then going over my footage again, you can see that my engine is just destroyed, and that creates that basically, as I said in the last video, that basically makes your engine like you're driving in lean permanently. That's pretty much what it is. Even if you put it in rich, that's the equivalent of lean. So if you put it in standard lean again, then that's going to be like, you're going to be so slow down the straight. You're going to be almost losing 10 miles an hour. That's how bad it is. As Martin is lagging so badly at the moment, but we'll go down the inside, and that is a massive corner cut, and we've overtaken him through a corner cut. And trust me, I was pretty aware that happened at the time, but since his car was lagging so much, I just didn't want to stay behind him again. So I was planning later on in the race, if his connection calmed down, to maybe let him through again, or if he overtook me again, I wasn't really going to put up much of a fight. But for now, I probably should have let him back past then, looking at, but in that situation where his car is lagging so much for me, I just really don't want to be behind him again. Now, I didn't really have any choice. I had to go down the inside, otherwise I was going to hit him in that situation. But you can see, back into P3 now, so we're in a podium position, and now we're coming up behind the two leaders as there's a swap for the lead. And this felt really nice to me, to just be in this position again, because it has been a while since I've been in this kind of position. And right now, through the lack of practice, I felt I wasn't really driving that well, but through just looking after the engine, I feel it's just giving me so much more performance in my car, and it's just enabling me to just keep with these guys pretty easy. As I said, I just didn't feel any confidence coming to this. I feel like I'm driving steady, but just not. I'm not driving off the rails or anything, where I have been in previous races where I've been driving it pretty much flat out, near to my limits of what I can do, and I just had no reward for it. The pace has been, I just haven't been on the pace in the dry, and I really do feel that is because I've just been really just destroying my engine in revving. Because coming into this corner here, I'd probably be leaving it in 6th gear. I wouldn't even dream of coming in 7th gear, because I just don't really like coming down too many gears, because I feel it's quite easy to make a mistake that way. But mainly it's just because of just my driving style, of just how I've driven it in the past. So you can see, coming to this 3rd gear, we've go short shift into 4th, and I just would never do that before. If you look at my previous games of like 2013 round here, I was revving at probably in the 2nd gear and going through it, which is unrealistic, but the game let you do it at the time. So I suppose that is a good thing, that the game does force you to drive at this, to be honest, and a little bit late in the season to catch on to this driving style. But right now, just feel like I'm just really just focusing on my apexes, but not really trying to set the world alight, but we're still keeping up with the leaders. So if we can combine that with getting used to this short shifting and looking after the engine, and just really going for it on the track as well, I feel we have the pace to win races. We've shown that previously in the season on multiple occasions. China, Silverstone, I think, was probably my strongest pace in the drive. I felt really hard done by what happened to me on turn 1 and 2, because the pace was excellent throughout the race. But now we're just comfortably sitting behind leaders, and it's not, as I said, it's not, I don't feel I'm being pushed or anything at the moment. I feel it's very comfortable staying behind the leaders, and yeah, it just feels nice again to just be in this position. And if I can just work on my qualifying for next season, then, and also just looking after my engine and other things as well, and making just better decisions in strategy, then I feel we can win. We can do it. We just got to be consistent and just put in the work. Then this is something I just haven't really done this season. It's just really put in the grind as much time. But to be honest, and that's not because I just haven't wanted to, that's because I just haven't been able to. Just a moving job, my girlfriend, and just doing other things and stuff as well. So hopefully next season we'll have more time to do that, and I'm sure if the results are good from the start of the season, I'll probably be a lot more motivated to do that at the start of the season. But you can see now, losing a little bit of track with leads, we're still in the DRS, and Martin has got a really good slip shame us, and I just really just didn't want him to overtake me. So go brake really late, and we've actually made contact with the flying thing, counter-locking that really nice as well. No damage somehow. I don't know how that's happened, but there's no damage at all. And we broke so late there because we just do not want Martin to come past at all because of his lagging car. We just do not want that, because if he gets in front of us and his car lags back into us, then we'll probably lose a front wing, or something like that. And I was feeling comfortable just keeping that gap with the leaders, not really pressing them, but just looking after my car, looking after my tyres. But now it looks like we've lost the DRS now. So for that move by Martin, which he's perfectly entitled to make, we've actually lost track with the leaders. But hopefully they can battle in front of us and get back in the DRS again. That's something we really want. So moving on to the really long straight now. Again, the gap is still maintaining the same. Martin's got a good run out here, so it looks like there's going to be no competition coming down the straight. So I think we're going to move it into a lower fuel mix now. So looking at our tyres are in quite good condition. We're going back into lean, so looking after our engine at the same time as well. And Martin just slotting in behind him at the moment. And I know he's got the pace, so we're just going to try and just not really put him under pressure. Just sit behind him. Just use him to get back up to the leads, because I think we're quicker than the guys ahead of us. Actually, I think we have got the pace on the guys ahead of us, so we can just work together a little bit. Unfortunate that he went for that move, because it's kind of just locked us out, because I thought he wouldn't really go for that because we were comfortably with the leaders. I didn't think at this early stage in the race that we needed to battle like that. But you know, as I said, he's perfectly entitled. He's got the DRS and it's so powerful around here, and then why not go for a move like that? So slotting in behind him in 4th place at the moment with AOR reversal, a few seconds behind on the harder tyre, the soft tyre, if I can read that right. And we're not going to try and hassle Martin. Got really good apex speed in this car through here. And moving on to lap 7, or towards the end of lap 7. Again, just looking after ourselves now. Putting up to Rich now. Looks like Martin's going to Rich a little bit, defending from us. But I don't think we're going to go for a move here. I think we're just going to slot in behind him. Quite nicely late on the brakes. Back into the lean again. Really good apex speed. And again, just really comfortable at the moment. And it looks like we are slightly catching the leaders. So at this point, I just didn't want to battle Martin at all. Just use each other to just catch up to these. And if we can get in the DRS again, then we could fight for a race win. And that's what I want so badly. I want to win a race, because I felt I threw it away at China and Silverstone with just my own doing for the qualifying, just choking in the qualifying. If I could get a win this season, then that'd be absolutely great. If not, take everything on board for next season. But now we've got a really good run on Martin, so we're able to keep with him quite nicely and go down the inside very, very late on the brakes, because he's super late on the brakes here, but using first gear to just get around that. He's on our outside, so again, I was hoping it'd be a little bit more comfortable than this. Losing a little bit of time, but we're still within probably 2 seconds of the leaders, so it's game on. We can still do it, and I feel if we can keep this pace towards the end of the race, not too sure on the strategy at the moment, because see our tyres are now slowly starting to go, because I didn't even know when to pit. I had no idea when to pit or what tyres to go on, and it looks like Flying Finn has gone into pits, and you can see Martin behind us as well. He's gone into pits, so HDR Cupid has continued, and I'm going to continue as well, because I felt my tyres were still quite a good grip on them, and you can see by a percentage still got quite a lot of life in them. So if it is a one stop, we're just going to keep going. We're going on to this main straight now, and we're going to look at the race director, because as I said, we just don't have any clue. So it looks like Martin has gone on the medium tyres, so that is me confirming that I'm going to go on the medium tyres and just see how long I can last for, because we've actually pitted a lap later than them. So if we can come out quite close behind them, we're looking really good for us. So come into the pit lane, and good job. We just done another Monza, and yeah, that was a big mistake and really annoying, because I think I went one miles per hour over the speed limit. So I think it was 51 miles per hour when I hit the line, and we just didn't really need to take that kind of risk, because I did do it in practice in the 3 or 4 qualifying laps I did. So we got a drive-through penalty, and Martin's come out just ahead of us as well, so the undercut was not big, and you can see the leaders are not that far ahead of us at all, and we've got a lap fresher tyres apart from HDR Cupid. So I was really thinking at this point second place could have been on the cards here, because they're in traffic as well, and yeah, that was just so annoying. I was really, I was annoyed, but I wasn't like, I've been a lot worse, but that's because, you know, I've put a lot more effort into it, and if I've been practicing all week or something like that, I'd be absolutely furious with myself, but I can't really complain too much, as Lucky Dog has just forced us off the track. So yeah, that's really nice for my teammate. But yeah, we should have been a lot more cautious. We're not going to make up that much time by doing this. So we're going to go through the middle of these cars here, and we've just yeah, that's our race over. And to be honest, I don't really know whose fault that was. I really just went down the inside because I just had nothing to lose. A drive-through penalty anyway. I thought there was a gap. Would have been good for the highlights. But it just didn't work out. And we'll probably go see slow motion in this. But yeah, the race was looking really promising. Looking after my engine definitely seemed to help me quite a bit. So we'll take that into future races. But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Really annoying. It was only 10 laps. But we move on, I think, to Mexico next. So that should be fun. But thank you so much for watching. I'm really going to take this into next season. Just try and take this positivity that I have had from this season and put it into next season. But thank you so much for support, all my videos and everything. And yeah, I will be back next time. Cheers.